Okay, another week. Um, Apologize for doing this in the car. I was actually going to do a nice video on a nice lakeside, outdoor, naturey background, and basically I forgot to make this video Friday. Today's Saturday, and then this morning I did go to shoot it by the lakeside, but the sun was too bright and it was messed up. And I'm doing it now because I'm realizing I won't be back by the lake, and I don't want to do it tomorrow. So anyways, alright. So I'm on my traveling road trip, whatever, down in North Carolina now. I've been here for the last week. Plans shifted a little bit from what I expected. The lake is because I've been staying at a campground for the week. Lakeside camping. It's fucking dope. Really nice. Waking up like in the woods, a few feet away from the water. It's pretty nice. Going to sleep with the stars out, all that. It's really good. I'm down in North Carolina. I was actually supposed to just be here for last weekend, and then I was going to continue on to South Carolina. But ran into a problem last week, and I was visiting a friend who, I don't know, I'm just like dragging out this thing. Friend ended up in the emergency room for mental health challenges, and now I am actually just leaving the mental hospital, where he's going to be staying for at least a week. Could be as much as a couple months, I guess. It sucked. It really sucked. I wasn't, I saw him on Saturday. We actually hit up an open mic last weekend. And then Sunday we were going to hang out again, and he was sending me a text message. He's like, I'm at the hospital. So immediately I just threw it in my GPS. I showed up there. And he went into catatonic shock. At least that's what the doctors call it. He feels it's a different kind of experience, more of a spiritual experience, whereas the doctors So I guess he was just kind of, from the outside world's perspective, he was spacing out and he wasn't responsive, so someone called an ambulance, 911. They took him into the emergency room, and I was there with him on Sunday, sitting under a fucking shitty fluorescent light for like 10 hours. And then I went home to get some sleep, and I was thinking, do I stay here? Do I stay overnight with him? Should I do that? Should I be here for him in that way? Or do I personally need to get some rest and some sleep? Is this a crisis where I should be staying up all night or sleeping by his bedside or whatever? I left and went home. I felt selfish for going to get some sleep. But it is true because, it wasn't like a one-night thing. He was all there at the hospital all day Sunday. They kept him overnight in the emergency room, just laying there, waiting to see a doctor. And then the next day they moved him somewhere else in the hospital. So he was at that hospital. Then when they moved him, they had a security person in his room the whole time. So now this guy who was taken, literally was not responsive. So it wasn't like he was causing a bunch of fucking disturbance and like raising a shit fit, running around going crazy. Dude was literally like sitting at church, not responding. So they take him to the hospital. He sits there, just fucking sitting, eating shitty food. Like, I walked to the cafeteria and got like delicious food, really cheap, healthy. Yet they're serving him really shitty food. And so he was there Sunday. Monday they moved him in to a room with a security guard. He stayed there, having someone watch him. When I went to visit him there, they wouldn't even let me in with any stuff. I couldn't even bring in a fucking sweatshirt because there was a cord on my sweatshirt. So he was there for 4 days, and then they finally, instead of letting him go home, they sent him to a mental hospital where you're only allowed to visit for an hour a day, every other day. His birthday was yesterday, so his wife, kid, and his wife's mom and I went there, and a friend. with a cake. They wouldn't let us bring his fucking birthday cake. They said no outside cake allowed. That's a rule. No outside cake allowed. And that's the deal. If you refuse to take your meds, they'll probably just keep you there forever. Just do what the doctor tells you. Smile, swallow the pill, get the fuck out of there as fast as you can. And then you're out, and you're fucking stuck on these medications. If you go off them, side effects of many of the medications are the symptoms they're supposed to be treating. If you go off the medication, it might cause you to have catatonic shock, mania, seizures, visions, hallucinations, depression, anxiety. And you're fucking stuck. Can't get out of the place unless you do what they tell you. If you do what they tell you, then you're fucked once you get out of the place. So that sucks. It's the reality of it. Alright, that's enough. Put me in a bad mood making this video. I mean, not in a bad mood, but you know, that's what this is all about, right? Video series showing me going off of medication, showing me not losing my mind, going bananas, I guess. Giving people hope. I hope to give people hope. Alright, give me one more. Okay, I'm going over my time limit. But so we were talking a lot about how to help people, and we were thinking there's like 3 phases, right? So there's before you end up in a psychiatric hospital, so like making people more aware that this stuff happens, having avenues for them to reach out for help, and also making them feel comfortable actually reaching out for help, because most people aren't that comfortable asking for help. And like making people more comfortable reaching out for help before they need help. And maybe you have like safe houses that they can go to, or just people kind of open up like an Airbnb where like if you need somewhere to go and crash in an emergency, you can go there and you can crash with them and get some, you know, rest, someone to talk to when you're in distress. So you have to have that available. Then you have to have people aware that it's available. They have to be self-aware that they're going through a crisis of some sort, and they have to be willing to reach out for help. Then you have the other phase, where people are inside the system. How can you improve conditions in the system? Better lighting would be better food. There are like certain legislation that's been passed that increase conditions, you know, letting them have fresh air when they're in there, reducing forced medications, meat and almonds. And then once they get out, phase 3 is how do you make it so that their life after being trapped in this fucked up system is improved, both in general and particular, so that they don't end up back in the system. So it's like a cycle. Not to mention how many people go in there and end up in a fucking prison. I was talking to some people this week at Mind Freedom about somehow getting involved with them. I'm a little wary of getting involved with organizations. I want to help, I want to do something, change the world and all that. Starting an organization seems possible. Being a solo guy, lone wolf type, might be valuable or useful. Organizations might come with strings attached, or I don't know. And in a way, it was a nice week. You know, I was camping all week, and I got plenty of work done. Not that I worked a ton, but there was work to do, and you know, kind of planning out the next phases of this traveling and this trip. South Carolina's next.